Hey everyone, it's Phil here, and in this video, I'm going to literally show you how to get your first customer and how to do it for $0. Then we'll go ahead and see how to get your 10 and then 100, then so on. And I think this is a very important video because this is where a lot of people do things wrong. And if you don't do things properly, then most likely you end up quitting in a month or maybe 6 months. Usually it's within that 6-month mark. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to show you how I also got my very first customer and then scaled that business to over $15 million and eventually co-founded Booking Koala. So now I get to see thousands worldwide getting their first set of customers. And when we interview them, they share their stories and tell us exactly what is working in today's time. So where would I go ahead and look for a customer for free? So again, $0. This is going to work for pretty much any service business. So home cleaning, mobile detailing, poop scooping, any of those businesses. I would first turn to someone that you may know. So if you own a home cleaning company, almost everybody lives somewhere, right? Chances are that you guys are going to know somebody that can use this service. Poop scooping, same thing. You guys know who has a dog. You can ask. Or if you know somebody, then ask them if they know somebody as well. This is usually enough to get you your first 5 customers. This isn't going to scale forever, right? This isn't going to get you to millions of dollars, but it is going to give you a boost and a kick start to gaining revenue and momentum in your business. And that's very important because if you guys have looked over all of my other videos, I always say you should get your first set of customers for free because it is important to leverage those customers so that you guys can go ahead and get feedback on your business so that you guys are structuring it properly, because this is so important. You know, I book services all the time from individuals that perform housework around my home, and you would be surprised. They maybe have some reviews online and they'll come here and then I'm like, yeah, I would never use them again, which probably tells me that those reviews, especially if they have a little bit amount of them, are fake. And that is key, you guys. When I said I would never call them back, that is the key, because you need customers to call you back. Because if you start throwing money into advertisement, you are not getting what you want, which is the most money out of each customer. You want them coming back, right? Whenever I say reoccurring businesses are the best businesses you can grow because the customers come back and keep on giving you money over and over. So you had to find them only one time and pay only one time, and now they'll keep coming back forever. For example, we literally sometimes acquire $20,000 in profit customers for $37. And I actually have a video about that. And that's super powerful because if you can't do that in the long run, you are throwing money away. So figure out your business first, and that 5 set of clients at first helps you do that. So again, that's not going to make you scale, but it's going to help you get to scale, okay? So that you can go ahead and acquire them and then continue to grow. So first, that'll be your best bet, first 5 for free. Then there are other ways, of course, to get them for free. What would that be? First, I always say, depending on where you are, figure out the free channels, because I might miss them, right? I don't know every single location and what's popular in there. I could tell you, for me, when we started, Craigslist was free at the time. So we leveraged Craigslist. We literally posted daily, multiple times per day for people that were looking for home cleaning. And that's where we acquired our first set of customers. Yes, we had some people that were friends and things like that, but majority of those people were coming from a free channel, which at that time was Craigslist. Right now, Craigslist is not free, but it's still a great opportunity because it is cheap and you could still acquire a couple customers from there. Would I go there? Probably not, because if you can find different channels that are free, go there instead. But if you can't, this is low entry type of business or type of opportunity. So you can pay and test it out. Plus you pay once, an ad comes up and you'll see if you get customers. One thing from there you want to keep in mind is that customers that are in Craigslist often shop per price. So you will need to give a coupon, and a big one, to attract them. Okay. Now, if you can't do Craigslist, you can't find other channels, which I should probably actually not even say that. You have to figure out something for free, because that is going to be your best bet. And there's definitely opportunities where you can go ahead and get your first set of clients for free. Your first one, first 10, and oftentimes you can even go to 50 or 100 through that method, okay? Now let's go ahead and talk about two other ones that I know of that are very good. Facebook is absolutely everywhere. People search for services, or there are groups. You can literally advertise in there until you get your first set of clients. Now, the next one will be going door to door. You wouldn't believe how much this works. It's a little bit more challenging because people don't like to do it. I did it when we first started. It wasn't more so door to door, but it was put a flyer on someone's mailbox or something like, I can't forget exactly where we're putting them because there's different laws in different states where you can put the flyer. So make sure you don't get in trouble and put the flyer somewhere properly if you're going to do that. It is a good way to get started. It actually is a good way to make money if you do it properly. And the big mistake with flyers is that people think that after one time the person will book with you, but it takes time for them to see your offer over and over again before they actually say, okay, let's give it a try. So you have to hit the houses multiple times, usually about 10 times, to see results. So have enough flyers, not all the same, 10 different versions with probably the same offer. If you're brand new, you would probably want to offer some kind of coupon and then start giving those out. Okay, so flyers will be another one, but going back to door knocking, this one's higher converting and it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. You could literally just go ahead and get started that way. And a lot of people do get started that way. It is a little harder, but you can do it. The only thing is, if you're growing a service business, you have to be in that location to leverage that free channel. If you're, let's say, in Chicago and you're starting your service business in Florida, different story. You would have to pay someone to do that. At that point, there's probably going to be better strategies for free to get those customers. So all these things over here that I mentioned, this is enough to get you to your first 100 clients. Now, what happens if you want to go further than that? And before I go there, just to clarify on the earlier point where people, let's say, start businesses from Chicago and have a business running in Florida, a lot of people do these businesses remote because sometimes they even live, let's say, in Argentina, but have the location somewhere in New York or Florida, Chicago, wherever. So you don't have to start the business if you're starting using Booking Koala. There's literally thousands that run this remotely from anywhere. And that's what I mean by that. But going back to what we were talking about now, let's talk about scale, going from 100 to, let's say, millions of dollars. And you don't need that many clients in the service industry to be making a lot of money. But how do you actually scale? So the most important part of all the work that you do early on is you need to capture a review. Branding is number one in the service industry. So every client that you get, you have to get a review out of them. And as of right now, Google is still the most powerful one. So get those reviews on Google because everybody Googles a business and looks through reviews. It's the most powerful thing. So you have to make sure that you go and ask every single customer for a review. And this is one indicator that will go ahead and tell you if your business is doing well. Because if people are not going to leave reviews, they don't want to leave reviews, they don't want to give feedback, that's an indicator that you're not even doing a good job. That's one of the two. The other one is if the people are actually sticking with you, okay? Especially if you're in a reoccurring industry where they're booking, something and putting themselves on a schedule like home cleaning, poop scooping, lawn care, things like that, right? So those are the two indicators. They both have to be there. You have to get the reviews. Not everybody's going to give you reviews, but try to aim for, in the early days, as many as possible. And then of course, 5 out of 10, I would say. And then later that might be 2 or 3 out of 10 because you're doing more volume, right? But those reviews will compound, and that's how you begin to scale because that contributes to your brand. Later, you'll want to rank yourself on the Google Map Pack, which then will bring free clients. You could do the same thing with Yelp. If you're getting reviews there, they'll rank you on the first page and you'll get customers from there as well. Of course, referrals, word of mouth is going to happen. Make sure you use the Booking Koala referral program because that is super powerful. It's very, very good way of getting customers without spending a lot of money. You just give 2 people a credit. Let's say your existing customer $50 and the new customer gets 50 off on their first appointment or something like that. And it is a powerful driver of new customers. So there's so many different ways to scale. Make sure you guys also get my 10K system, where I show you literally how to go from 0 to 10K per month in a service business. Also, which service business may be a good idea to start in and things like that. It is going to help you. Plus, you get a big discount on booking Koala your first year. So take advantage of that and do things properly, because like I said, if you do things out of order, it's going to make it a lot harder, and most people quit when they do things out of order. And if you don't, and if you do things properly, you get to leverage things and see how great of an opportunity growing a service business can be. If you guys enjoy my videos and you learn something, leave a comment and click a like on the video, because it helps with the algorithm, helps more people get to see these videos, which in return, I make more content for you guys, because I want you guys to win and have the best content possible to grow your service businesses.